I always tell people say AI is going to take jobs, AI is going to do this. I always tell them AI ain't going to take jobs. Humans that use AI will eliminate jobs.
Yeah.
We will always be in full control of all of our processes. AI is just a tool. And here's the reality of it. The reality of this tool is this. Those that use it will continue to succeed and continue to move on. Those that don't will get left behind.
Yes, it is quite a
Hot topic.
and I believe that we're going to have some really good insight. And more than anything, I believe the Lord is going to reveal we're going to break up some strongholds and religious thinking and bring about some truth. And it's like, okay, God, I've given you my quota, my quota of time for the week. I am about my own business. See you later. See you next week.
Is Christianity a mere set of religious rituals and doctrines, or does it encompass something deeper? A kingdom with its own laws, principles, values, culture, and dynamic. I'm thrilled to have you join us today as we dive into a topic that sparks curiosity and contemplation. Hey, welcome back to Ask Wifey, where we bring you kingdom principles to empower you as a kingdom citizen. I'm Jamin. This is my wife, Nicole, better known as Wifey. Say hi, Wifey.
Hi, wifey.
I hope everybody's excited. We are excited today.
Yes.
So excited about another episode. The title of this episode is Will AI Be the End of the Christian Church? Whoa.
Oh, wow. This is going to be intense.
We are diving into a topic that both fascinating and a bit unsettling for many. Will AI be the end of the Christian church?
As technology continues to evolve at a rapid pace, artificial intelligence is becoming an integral part of our everyday lives. From voice-activated assistants to advanced algorithms that shape our online experiences, AI is everywhere. But what does this mean for the Christian church? Will AI challenge the church's role in society? Or could it become a tool for spreading the gospel in new and innovative ways? Let's explore this complex issue together.
We're going to give you a little bit of history today. We're going to take you down to some roads you may not want to go down. But what we want you to do is stay till the end.
Yes.
Before we dive into AI, let's take a step back and look at how the Christian church has interacted with new technology. Through history, technology has always played a significant role in the span of the Christian message, or I should say, the spread of the Christian message.
That's right. Did you know on January 2nd, 1921, Pittsburgh radio station KDKA became the first to broadcast a religious program over the airways? The broadcast featured a religious service from the Calvary Episcopal Church, marking the first time a radio station had provided a remote broadcast. This was groundbreaking, a groundbreaking moment that opened the doors for religious broadcasting.
But it did not stop there. In the 1960s, Pat Robertson, founder of Christian Broadcasting Network, or we all know as CBN, in Portsmouth, Virginia, this was the beginning of Christian television as we know it today.
Wow, CBN.
Yep. Robertson's station, WYAH-TV, was the first Christian television station in the country. And it eventually grew into a media giant that CBN is today.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Good news. And who would forget Lester Summerall? I remember Lester Summerall. Woo, mighty man of God. Often called the father of Christian television. From 1972 to 1997, he acquired television stations throughout the United States as part of World Harvest Television, also known as LECEA, or LECEA.
Yeah, that's what I
Broadcast.
pronounce it.
Trying to say the word. Summerall's work ensured that Christian programming reached millions of homes across America.
Now, I want to take you back before we got to Summerall and basically give you a little deeper, little history, a little further back. The race to radio wasn't without complication. Marquin's success with radio was soon challenged by other brilliant minds. And this was the initial person that started playing with waves. Okay, radio waves.
Right.
For instance, in Australia, an Anglican believer named William Bigger was conducting a radio transmission as early as 1897. Meanwhile, in Colorado Springs, the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla, that's the guy who Tesla cars is Nikola Tesla, the car's named after, was working on ways to transmit electrical power wirelessly. Wirelessly. Tesla, by the way, once said, the gift of mental power comes from God, divine being. If we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in turn with his great power. He credited his mother's with teaching him to seek all truth in the Bible.
That was Tesla.
The inventor.
All right. As early as 1940, the first religious television broadcasts were made on local stations, including the Roman Catholic Easter Mass and the Easter Sermon by Dr. Henry McCrae Carvert of the Federal Council of Churches of Christ in America. These early broadcasts paved the way for the Christian media landscape we know today.
So as we can see, the church has a long history of embracing new technology to spread its message. But will AI be different? Could it pose a threat to the church mission? One of the things we want to do today is we want to, first of all, let everyone know that in order for us to spread the gospel, we have to use technology. Okay? That's the first thing we need people to understand. The second thing we want people to understand is this. Anything that we do, God gets the credit. Because who created us?
God.
He is the creator. And I want you to remember that. We should never be amazed when man does something or man creates something. Because we were created by God himself. Okay? And we, just like how he create, we create. But he's given us a choice. He's given us a choice to choose what we do with what we create. Okay? That's another point that I want to make sure that everybody understands today when it comes down to this podcast. Because we're going to dive into some things that's going to get a lot of people uncomfortable. Okay? Understanding AI and its impact on society. Let's talk about AI. What exactly is it? Artificial intelligence referred to machines or software that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. This includes learning, problem solving, language understanding, and even decision making. AI is already being used in various fields, AI is already being used in various fields. I'm repeating that for emphasis, including healthcare, finances, entertainment. But what about in the church? I want to emphasize something here. The AI industry is still in its fetus stage. Notice I did not say infancy stage. I say it's fetus stage. And it's already impacting healthcare sectors. There are reports out now with AI answering the phone and giving better diagnosis to an illness than doctors. It's rapidly taking over the financial sector, where when we had to do math calculations and use different software to do calculations, it's already in the marketplace. Okay? When it comes down to entertainment, they said that Tyler Perry was about to do an expansion, a big expansion. After seeing what AI does, he kicked it off the table. When it comes down to entertainment right now with AI, it is mind-boggling. Movies that would have taken years to make or months to make is happening nowadays. But again, what about the church?
Well, as AI has the potential to impact the church in several ways. AI in communication. Let's look at it. AI could revolutionize how churches communicate with their congregations. Imagine AI-driven chatbots offering spiritual questions online, or personalized AI sermons that cater to individual needs. But does this depersonalize the spiritual experience?
Now, let me draw an illustration. Being in the tech field, if you understand, one of the first things I want our audience to understand today is this. Whatever we give AI is what it puts out. The technology is now at the point where a pastor of 40 years or 50 years can take all of his messages, all of his notes, all of his books, feed it into the system, and now it answers the way the pastor would answer. It could actually write a message the way the pastor would write a message. Okay? One of the things I want to say right here is AI is a tool. It's a tool that we can use to spread the gospel. It's a tool. So we no longer, when we always want to run those 24-hour hotlines for people that want help, but the biggest problem is finding people to work it and finding the money for people to stay home, to be employed to do it. With one program, with one AI program, fed the right information, we can have a hotline set up for persons that need help, and they can get help and get someone to deal with their matter right away.
What does that depersonalize the spiritual experience?
How does it depersonalize the spiritual experience?
If I call in pertaining to a matter, how AI cannot receive information or guidance from the Holy Spirit like I would get.
True.
In ministering to that person.
True. But if you've been ministering to people for 10 years, right? There are a series of things that you always repeat, that you always do, that you always say, that you always use. There's only so many ways. A woman being battered by her husband calls in for help. There's only so many things. There's only certain questions you could ask that you would normally ask, that you would traditionally ask. There will be only so many methods and the way you will help her on the phone. And those same questions that you would ask those same guidance that you would ask, okay, they don't change.
I beg to differ in the sense that I when we minister or when I'm dealing with someone,
Mm-hmm.
I I can't use a cookie cutter situation because their situations vary based on individual,
I would agree.
right?
I
So
would I would agree that there's some scenarios that are really unique.
Mm.
Okay. And you can then program the AI to do something to call you in that's a very unique situation. But not every situation is unique. Someone being battered, there's a process that you take them through. Someone being homeless, there's a process that you take them through. Someone doesn't have something to eat, there's a process that they take them through. Now, after you have taken them through that process, there's a meet and greet. You understand what I'm saying? There's a meet and greet. You don't always, in a scenario when someone calls a hotline, okay, say, okay, I can meet up with you right now. Let me go and pick you up. You get some information, you gather information, you find the situation, find out where the person is. But the technology can be utilized in such a way where they gather that information and they can dispatch, and this technology can dispatch someone if that's necessary.
I believe when it comes to, I guess, certain levels
Like I
of
said, this,
counseling and
like I said to our audience, this topic is going to be so thought-provoking. I want you to pay attention to our conversation because my wife and I are
we're almost on two different sides of this.
of this technology. Okay. And what I like about that is it gives people both perspectives.
Yeah,
And I want
because I know people are saying, well, when I think about it,
Mhm.
what I can see the use of AI in certain areas in church.
And we're gonna
Yes.
get to those, but we're talking.
But when I still feel that the interaction with an individual who's calling in for a level of counseling, and again, I'm weighing both. I'm weighing the pros and cons of it. But when I look at it, I I believe that individual, every individual situation is different, and I when I counsel or when I'm talking with someone or when I'm interacting with someone in their scenario, I am I am answering or providing insight and answers based on that individual's
Okay.
situation.
Let me help you out here. Anything that's repetitious that we do, the technology can help.
But I don't see counseling a person or counseling individuals
Mhm.
being being a straight out repetition. No,
I follow that.
everybody-
I follow the thinking, and we're looking for your feedback in the comments area with this. I understand your thinking, but I'm going to say to you, as a counselor, there's a process that you will always follow. You don't no matter how each individual may be different, but the process of dealing with that individual is still the same. The process of dealing with that individual is still the same. If
okay, here's my thing.
Uh-huh.
Here's my thing.
Okay.
When I look at AI and utilizing
Mhm.
it, when it comes to personal situations, I think that that's an area that still needs to be tested.
Oh yeah,
So
one
for
of the-
me to, I cannot cannot fully endorse
one of the
taking from an AI
one of the
scenario.
things I want our audience to understand is this: we're talking about what's coming and what I already see down the pipeline. Because here's what a lot of people don't understand about how serious this technology is and how powerful it is. When you call someone, when you call it in about a year, when you call and an AI answer, you will not know unless they tell you that they're an AI. And I've shown you that before.
Okay.
Okay? So,
But my question is, to what level or at what point do we take hands off?
no.
To
Here's why.
are we taking
No.
hands off?
We
and
just
giving
no.
giving
That's where people are gonna get jammed. Don't you? There's always a human factor. Because why? Even though AI may gather the information from this person with the issue, okay? Even though AI may dispatch someone to a scene, even though AI will circumvent all of the processes that repetition, the human part of it will always be there. I always tell people say AI is going to take jobs, AI is going to do this. I always tell them AI ain't going to take jobs. Humans that use AI will eliminate jobs. When we will always be in full control of all of our processes. AI is just a tool. And here's the reality of it. The reality of this tool is this. Those that use it will continue to succeed and continue to move on. Those that don't will get left behind.
I do believe that there is a place and there are myriads of things that we can utilize AI for in advancing the kingdom and advancing the gospel. I believe that. And I think it's going to take discernment and wisdom and guidance from the Lord in what areas we do that. And I do and I do believe that we should be on as believers, as the church, we should be on the front end of it.
Okay. So AI in worship, there's already been talk of AI generating worship music or even AI leading prayer services. Could a machine even truly replace the human thought in the deeply spiritual practices? For me, I don't think I will feel comfortable with AI leading a service. What have I told you? Less than 8 months ago in Europe, they set up a church. Because the churches in Europe, they have a problem. They got these buildings, they have no pastors. They set up a church, fill it with people. The guy generated a service through the process, and they had a church service. Now, would I be comfortable with that? I would say no, I probably won't be comfortable with that. But the tool, how we use the tool is important. One of the things I want to stress with this particular podcast is I am stressing us, and just like how we use radio, just like how we use the television, just like how we use the internet, just like how we use social media. We don't want to wait until the world explodes and runs and do all of the foolishness with it, and then we try to catch up. Because we are too spiritual and don't understand that man created this technology and God created
man discovered the technology. They didn't create the technology.
Okay?
They discovered.
What's the difference?
The difference is
Mm-hmm.
the ability was always there.
Okay.
It's like Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
He didn't create the New World.
Okay.
He discovered the New World.
Okay.
It was there,
I like that.
and he came across it.
I like that.
And so, yes, man discovered this new technology.
That for me, that's even a bigger draw. Okay.
So when I look at it in that light, it was already established and already in the system, in God's system.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what we've like with everything, we've discovered how things happen and how things work,
Mhm.
and been exposed to it. And again, why I believe we ought to look at moving with it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I do I do not agree
Uh-huh.
with a AI led service. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I have to. I gotta wrap my head around some things, because here's my.
I guess here's the question.
Are we going? I guess I asked this question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we engaging in a religious service,
Mm-hmm.
or are we engaging in a spiritual encounter when we go to service? Are we just going to sing songs? Are we just moved by?
And this is why we're doing this podcast, because I don't think the church realize how powerful this technology is. Okay? I don't think people understand that right now I can take AI, whatever one I just choose to use, and I can have it write a sermon. Then I can use another piece of AI, okay, and I can have it speak the sermon, okay, and I can put it in front of someone, have them listen to it and watch it, and they will not know that person, that recording is recorded. It was recorded by AI. This is one of the reasons we want to highlight this right now. This is one of the reasons why this podcast is going out, because these are the questions that you have to start asking yourself now. Well, how are we going to deal with it? It's simple as music. Right now, I tell persons within the next 12 to 24 months, I can have an album out and I ain't gonna sing a lick. Because why? Music is now being generated better than any music artist can generate it. Excuse me. And because of that, it's up to us as the body, us as the kingdom citizens, to utilize it God's way.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? We have to, our goal is to make people aware of this. So our next point is AI in
evangelism. On the positive side, AI could help spread the gospel to parts of the world where missionaries cannot go.
Mm-hmm.
AI-powered apps and tools could translate the Bible into languages that have never had a written version before.
Mm-hmm. And here's the power with that. That's happening now.
Yeah. And
not just that, but imagine this. Imagine a service that recorded this morning goes out in 100 languages with a click of a button.
Yeah. That's a powerful and
very powerful tool.
And when we think about what Jesus said, his return is pivotal on the gospel reaching out to all the nations, and people.
AI in ethics and morality. Perhaps the most significant concern is whether AI can understand and promote Christian ethics and morality. If AI is programmed by humans, what happens if these humans don't share Christian values? Could AI promote ideas that conflicts with biblical teaching? Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is why, again, we have to be aware, but we don't run from, we embrace the good. We choose the good from it. Because why? No matter what technology comes out, the direction it goes is based on what we do as individuals.
And I guess that's why it's important that we as believers be a part of and in the forefront of where things are going
Mm-hmm.
and have a seat at the table so that we can influence and ensure that things stay right
Mm-hmm.
and move in righteousness. And again, why I am not totally against us being involved.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is really being prayerful and understanding and getting wisdom from the Lord as to what we need to do.
How do
with
we
it.
use it?
How do we use it?
How
do
do
we
you use
take
it?
it?
Mhm.
How do we create if if as believers we're not a part of training these AI models to have a godly, righteous perspective, then we won't get that out of them,
You're correct.
right?
You're definitely correct. But babes, guess what? It's now time for us to conclude this episode. Next week, we're going to go through some tools that you can be used, some ways the church can use AI, and why this opportunity to utilize this new technology is going to be a way for us to bring the masses of numbers to the kingdom. Until next time, the kingdom of heaven is here.